Great. All right. Well, we can get started here in a moment, but just some housekeeping items. So we record these meetings, and the link, usually in the weeks following the meeting, the link is put up on our YouTube channel and linked directly from the website. So, folks who may not have been able to attend the meeting are able to view it that way. My name is Aaron Sukanik. I'm the Vice President of District Development, help facilitate these meetings. And today, we have just one item on our agenda, and we'll be introducing that in a minute for 242 Fifth Avenue for a facade modification for interior trash storage. So the Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership is the registered community organization, also known as an RCO, for the downtown neighborhood. And we're designated as the RCO through the Department of City Planning to give an opportunity for community input on any development activities in the neighborhood. So applicants requesting to go before the Zoning Board of Adjustment, the Planning Commission, the Historic Review Commission, Public Art and Civic Design are directed by City Planning to contact the RCO in the neighborhood where the development is located and schedule a presentation. So these meetings, these development activities meetings, are intended to be the forum for those presentations. So this, we hope that all questions and everything can be asked here, and if not answered at this meeting, there's always opportunity for follow-up after the meeting. And the hope is that we can resolve any questions, concerns at this early stage of the process. So questions can be asked of presenters in different ways. The chat, you could certainly use the chat. You could do the raise hand button. And we don't have anyone calling in, so I don't need to mention for any call-ins. But with that, I would like to hand it over to Teresa and DJ from AE7 to discuss their proposal. Who shall I make co-host here to do the deck?
You can do it for me.
All right. Should be good.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. As Aaron said, we're here to talk about a little project we're working on in the Central Business District. I'll go ahead and share my screen here. Can you all see what's currently on my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So basically, we are looking at 242 Fifth Avenue. And as Aaron mentioned, this is a facade modification for the CVS pharmacy that is located downtown. Jump to the next page here. So we'll kind of go through some existing conditions first. So just to kind of get you familiar with the site is kind of between Fifth Avenue and Forbes Avenue, and Bookway is just off here with Wood Street being the kind of primary kind of bisecting thoroughfare. It's also between the tower at PNC Plaza as well as Market Square. As such, it is located within the Market Square Historic District. So what we are doing today is we are presenting to you, the Downtown Pittsburgh Partnership, the RCO, in hopes of getting a meeting in approximately 30 days time, sometime in August, with the Historic Review Commission to kind of review these proposed modifications. Kind of a simple building-ish. It's actually a conglomeration of a few buildings that have been kind of joined over time. But this is kind of roughly a kind of a site plan. The kind of gray hatch area you see is the area we are not touching, with just this one little white block up here being the area we are actually modifying to be an interior trash room. Some back context on this project. Previously, trash was being kind of stored in Bookway itself. As you can see, it is quite a narrow thoroughfare that actually tapers down to approximately 5 foot at the opposite end. That's at the Fifth Avenue side. It has been secured on either side by fences, and in an attempt to kind of make this a bit more safer because it is kind of a blind spot in the city. As such, the trash that was being stored out here was then being stored on Forbes Avenue to give it a more appropriate home that is outside of the public way and kind of interior to CVS's kind of property itself. We were asked to look at modifying an existing break room for them to provide a small trash enclosure such that they could kind of store the trash in there, and then on days for pickup, take it out to the street where it would be kind of picked up. This is the current kind of facade we're looking at. So again, you can kind of see this is one of the buildings here. This is the second building, and it's kind of been unified by this kind of renovation. Approximately looks like in the 60s or 70s sometime, given the language of the architecture here. This zone here is where the proposed break room currently is. You can see it's kind of got some storefront glass. It's got some window film on it for privacy. And essentially what we're going to do is we're looking at just kind of removing these two center panels of glass and kind of spandrel glass and putting a roll-up door in that would kind of match this kind of architecture. These are just some alternate views, just kind of give you a better idea of what's going on in the context. We have a bus stop over here, and this is on Fifth Avenue itself. This is the proposed kind of rendering of, again, the existing conditions before and after. As mentioned, we are kind of using this kind of striated metal panel kind of finish and look to kind of put the overhead door in here, again with minimal kind of impact on the two kind of remaining side pieces of storefront, and then no additional changes to the facade itself. Show you some plans here. So again, this is that existing break room as it is today, kind of a small space the employees kind of use to take their lunch breaks in. We're basically going to keep kind of the casework and the fixtures here and just kind of rearrange the furniture for them. Just put a partition in here. And then this is that existing storefront with that overhead door going in. And then two dumpsters located that, again, these will be wheeled out on trash pickup days and then stored in here when trash pickup days are not in occurrence. Again, this is that facade showing those kind of removed pieces of glass and spandrel glass. This is, again, that proposed roll-up overhead door, approximately 6 foot wide by 12 foot tall. And that is our presentation. Are there any questions, or should I go back to any slides for anyone?
I have some questions. Hi, this is Bruce with the Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership, Senior Director of Urban Design. Can you just go to the previous slide? It does mention here the face-mounted or surface-mounted overhead door coil. So that's going to be interior. That's not on the exterior. Is that correct?
Correct. That will be interior.
Got it. And this product that you're using, I'm assuming it is you have a manufacturer, you have specifications and such.
Correct.
Okay, sounds good. And so they will be they will be working with the contractors to, I guess, kind of customize it to that opening there.
Correct. Yes.
Got it. Do we have an idea of the finish of what that door is, what the material is, what you're thinking about color? I mean, is it just going to be kind of that brown?
Yeah, we were thinking of this kind of the brown to kind of match what's there, kind of a painted aluminum, powder coated.
Interesting. Sounds good. And I'm wondering, this is now maybe like a larger question about, this is you're presenting here today because you will be going to HRC, to History Review Commission, because it's right on the corner of the Market Square Historic District. I'm wondering, have you talked to anyone either at DCP, Alex here, or anyone at HRC to kind of get their idea of like, is this something that they would approve? I'm just throwing it out there. I don't really know. I haven't dealt with roll-up garage doors with HRC before, but I just don't know.
Yeah, totally. We don't really have an understanding of what their appetite is for a change like this, given that the project is so kind of limited in scope in terms of what it is trying to do and address kind of a public health issue currently that's existing on the opposite side of the block. we're hoping that this is just merely a kind of a formality and we can kind of assist in getting the client through this so that they can then make the changes and kind of amend the kind of context.
To that point, I wonder if, I mean, I'm just kind of thinking out loud what kind of questions HRC might have for you when you present to them. And I feel like one of them would be like, what, here we're kind of introducing a new garage door typology as well as a new, in a way, kind of material. It is kind of a horizontal, aluminum, corrugated aluminum versus the rest of the facade, which is more vertical. I'm just wondering, are there other finishes to this door that could be maybe replicate what was there before? Are there other types of doors that aren't necessarily roll up that are more of a garage standard that could mimic or start to talk about the rhythm and the pattern of the glass that in the storefront glass that was there previously? I'm wondering, are there ways, other types of doors that have like maybe mullions that would replicate what was there before? It's just like this is a very kind of commercial application of a garage door on what was a storefront. So I'm just wondering, like, are there opportunities to maybe either with this product and this manufacturer or something else to kind of visually make it not seem like a garage door? I feel like that might be one question that HRC might have.
Understood. I would hesitate to kind of put glass back because, again, being that it's going to be kind of a trash room, you kind of don't want to kind of display those things on the street. But I think there are other options for materiality potentially, again, given the client's blessing of such kind of direction. Any additional questions?
I guess I have one more question. It's just more about maybe the process of working with the client. I guess, was there talk with the client about kind of was there any further exploration with the client about this door, or were the directions from them being like, we just want to roll a garage door? Was there, I guess I'm asking, are there any opportunities to maybe think about a product that might be not just a roll-up garage door, that might be more of a segmented kind of door that you see by restaurants, for outdoor dining, or by, bars or breweries that have outdoor dining, kind of things like that. I think as a visual material, but also a product. I'm wondering, was there any exploration with that?
There wasn't, because the characterization of the conversation and the direction was the latter that you described in terms of just limited scope.
Yeah, I mean, that's helpful information, I guess. Maybe just in advance of going to HRC, maybe just encourage you to be prepared to discuss or answer that same or similar question. Because this cladding on this facade by all means seems non-contributing for a historic district, but it's also just not very attractive. So having more non-contributing cladding versus something that could be, for example, a canvas for a public art piece or something, just might be worth considering and perhaps taking back to the client to gauge what their level of flexibility and willingness would be to be open to those sorts of things other than the brown surface.
Yeah, for example, like there wasn't any discussion about like just presenting like double doors that would open, that they could roll out a dumpster. It was like always just like it has always been just like a roll-up garage door. Like there wasn't any top of any kind of other system.
Yeah, I
That's
feel
good.
like the issue with the double door is that in order for us to kind of do those, they would have to swing outward. So then it's going into the public way and you're getting into encroachment permits. Swinging inward is not a feasible solution given the size of the dumpsters themselves. So again, it was kind of a path of least resistance. Going up was the easier kind of method to address this issue.
So if this is the system, that's fine. Is there any opportunities, I guess, to kind of do, I know like if we stick with brown as the finish, great, like it'll match with everything else. Are there other opportunities from the design standpoint that, you know, AE7, you guys do a bunch of stuff all over town. It's great, it's modern, contemporary. Are there other opportunities you see that could be put into a garage door such as this, right? I don't want to just say, let's just like paste some public art on it or like have someone paint some like art on it. Is there other kind of applications to a aluminum door such as this that you guys could think of or think that the client would, you know, have an appetite to kind of like investigate a little bit more? It's just like I'm wondering if it's just like such a prominent visual surface. And as Aaron said, I just, you know, it's not exactly the best now, but I also don't want to keep adding things to it. Are there other things that you maybe can think about that can be put onto that finish?
I mean, we can certainly kind of discuss it with them. You know, I can't get past the idea of paint. And again, I don't think we want to put glass here because this is again not a front door. We don't want to announce it as kind of putting attention on this space. Because the front door, as you see, is off to the right there. So that clearly needs to be kind of marked and announce itself to passerbys. But again, it's worth a conversation.
And I think if we look at the big picture of this facade, yes, it is brown. I think we can all agree that it's not doing anything. The facade in general isn't doing anything for the historic contextual context of the streetscape. And with that being said, it seems like, you know, if we do try to make a greater design intervention, it almost felt like it would call more attention to it in a negative way, as opposed to just being subtle about it and, you know, serving the function of being able to get in and out. As EJ mentioned, our initial response was to do glass doors, but we ran into issues with the clearances and whatnot. You know, again, sort of, you know, is brown very appealing? No, but if you, DJ, if you go to the picture that shows the whole street, like you can see sort of how minimal. I think you had a larger street version on some of the other contextual views overall.
It was just that one.
Just that one. Okay. I thought
Yeah.
we had like one from another angle. Yeah. But yeah, it's sort of more just goes away as opposed to trying to call more attention to it. You know, could we carry that band of red that's going across there just to kind of, you know, kind of carry that band across? You know, that might be something that would be an option, or with some of their marketing or branding that they're doing, to just kind of have that get some continuity with that line going across. I'm sure they would be, you know, open to that. But I guess that's the question, right? What's you know, how much do you try to, you know, call attention to this as opposed to just having a subtle solution to try to solve their problem? Because again, it's really, you know, with it being a trash room, and, you know, the utilitarian aspect of it, but, you know, more importantly, trying to get the public nuisance off the street with the trash and everything that's been associated with the conditions on the other side of the street with that happening.
Yeah, understood. And I mean, I know like our organization is broadly very supportive of interior trash storage. So there's
Yeah.
you know no conflict there.
Right.
But just yeah, I don't know. Um all right. Well, this
And actually, this is kind of telling, that facade. I mean, especially when you look at what's happening above this as well, you know, that's a little bit of a rough rough situation. If they were looking to do a greater renovation to this facade, boy, we would, which we did encourage. We did try to engage them on doing a greater renovation to the whole facade with, because we actually just finished work along the Wood Street corridor right across from PNC with renovating 4 buildings there. And we tried to engage them to do a renovation of this facade as well. Especially with the work that's across with the restaurants that are across the street from this building on the Forbes Avenue side. But yeah, not at this time. They're not looking to go any further with that.
Gotcha. All right. Well, any other questions or comments here? No? All right. Then that's it. We're good. We will see. Thank you to our presenters. We'll see everyone, checking the calendar here. We'll see everyone on the 11th of July. All right, and get ready for the heat wave.
It's
All right.
summer.
Yes, it is.
Pool's
All
open
right,
this
folks.
weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yep,
Good
bye-bye.
everybody.
Thanks.
Thank you.